Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another 88 Crime Cold Case Files podcast in collaboration with the Tucson Police Department. As always, anyone with information is urged to contact 88 Crime. Tipsters remain anonymous. You can call 520-882-7463, or you can download the mobile app, the P3 Tips app. It's free to download. Data charges may apply. Or you can always visit www.88crime.org. Today, I'm joined with the Tucson Police Department detectives, Steve Acevedo and David Miller. Thank you for being here again today to cover this case. Today, we're covering a case from 1991.
Yes.
And I'm going to let you guys take over so you can talk about this case here in 1991. Where did it occur? Who did it involve?
So it was on it kind of started on June 11th, which was a Tuesday of 1991. Jimmy Hendrickson, real name James Hendrickson, but everybody referred to him as Jimmy. He was 12 years old at the time, and his family portions of his family had gone out of town kind of on a last-minute trip. Jimmy stayed back, and he was being watched by a friend of the family who had previously watched him fairly frequently. So it was during that time period that Jimmy disappeared. And it essentially on the Granton Oracle area of town, a few locations around there, his home, the residence where the family friend lived, and then another residence within that close proximity where he ultimately disappeared from.
Hey, Shay, can you pull up that map I sent you? So between Tuesday evening, June 11th, and Wednesday morning, June 12th, Jimmy disappeared from a residence in this area. So can you describe what we're looking at here? What area of town is this?
So on the right side of the screen, which would be east, is Oracle Road. That's the major roadway there. And then at the bottom, which would be to the south, the major road there is Grant. So on that image to the left side, which would be the west side, about midway through, is the residential neighborhood where the residence was that Jimmy disappeared from. We didn't want to put the exact location of any of the addresses in this,
right,
just to preserve the integrity of the investigation up to this point.
What stands out about this case? Here we are in 2025, this case from 1991. What stands out at this time for the case?
It's it's unique in that Jimmy went missing and has not been heard from since. And then at the same time, some leads have come in and early on with respect to 1990, 1992, 91, 92, 93. There was a lot of information in terms of attention to the disappearance of Jimmy Hendrickson. But to this day, little to no information has come about, and that stands out in addition to the notice within the police department as a long-term missing person. Jimmy's name and information has been submitted to the National Center for Missing and Endangered Children, as well as the NamUs program. This is an investigation that I do think people close to the family may have information, and for whatever reason were maybe not as forthcoming or even participated in notifying the police in 1991. So this is an appeal to those individuals that may know some information to come forward and provide us with information as to maybe where Jimmy's whereabouts may be.
Was Jimmy attending a local school at that time?
It was during the summertime,
mm-hmm.
and I don't remember if it was documented in the initial case, but it would have been somewhere within that area.
Mm-hmm.
And before we move on, I wanted to correct Steve, because last time he made fun of me because I couldn't remember an acronym for something, and it's National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
My apologies.
There we go. Got it corrected. Thanks, Dave.
Good job, Steve.
Hey, Shay, can you pull up the the photo I sent you of Jimmy. Okay, so here we go. So here's a photo of Jimmy around the time of his disappearance, approximately 12 years old. And then you got another photo here on the right. What is this that we're looking at?
That's an age progression image that the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children produced. They're a great organization. If people haven't heard of them before, they can check out their website, which we may be able to put up at some point.
Yeah, no, we'll put it inside of the show details.
So they assist in missing children cases all around the country. And from time to time, they'll do these age progression images in hopes of somebody recognizing the missing person maybe years later, and people change. So obviously Jimmy's not going to look like he did when he was 12 in 2014. So they advance the aging process through that and distribute those on their website to departments and areas where the person went missing from.
Is there anything else that you guys want to cover that stands out about this case?
I guess I can return to the idea in terms of the summertime of 1991. Jimmy was relatively new to that neighborhood with respect to his family, sort of living in that area of the Grant Oracle corridor.
Mm-hmm.
He had attended Amphi Middle School at that time. So if there were students that may have been aware of Jimmy's whereabouts on or about the 11th to 12th of June of 1991, we would certainly like to hear from them. I mean, clearly these people are now adults, and we are open to hearing from them.
Was there any media coverage of this at the time that people can look back on as well? Sure if they did some searches.
There was not only television news, but also both Tucson Citizen, Daily Star articles related to Jimmy's disappearance, as well as throughout the years, Jimmy's family has been very proactive in consulting with the media and recognizing various anniversaries of the anniversary of his disappearance.
Okay. Go ahead, David.
Also, excuse me, this, based on the circumstances of the investigation and case, this isn't a situation where Jimmy left that residence voluntarily or ran away and then, voluntarily left his family, group. It's, more highly, it's way more likely that it was foul play involved. And we're fairly certain that there are people who have more information about this, and we want them to come forward, whether it's bits and pieces of what they actually know or have even been told by others. We know that's out there. We're confident that that's out there. And we just want to bring a resolution to Jimmy's family and, just 12 years old and gone forever. So,
yeah, that weighs heavy on a conscience for sure. All right, well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of this, and we look forward to providing more episodes for folks to listen to and to look into. As always, we thank you so much for supporting 88 Crime and the Tucson Police Department. Again, you can visit 88crime.org if you have any information, or check the show details for some of the websites that David and Steve were talking about. Thank you.
thanks.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash.
When you call in anonymously with the tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward.
Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.